How the hell are you people going to give this movie a high score on Rotten Tomatoes, but not to Joker Part 2? I mean, just in comparison, Joker should have had a higher score than this. But to me, this movie here is like a slap to the face to the original Smile. And ironically, is the same director and the same writer. I don't know how you can go from that movie, the first Smile, to this movie. It's almost like he phoned it in. I know he gets the credit for it, but it's almost like he hired someone else. Hey, we'll tell him that I did all the work, but actually you do it. Because it's nothing like the first. I'm going to start from the very beginning. And they tried to do something like Pulp Fiction, where you start the movie off in the middle or towards the end with no explanation. So, it's been done before, so I knew what they were doing. But it was still confusing, like what was going on here. But even that part was pretty cool. I like that sequence. It was pretty good. And of course, like 7 minutes later, you get the title intro. And I respect that too. They did it in part one. Like 10 minutes into the movie, that's when you get your title. They've done it in a good way here and in the first one. But then we meet Skye Riley. She's supposed to be like this Lady Gaga character. And people got to understand, writers got to understand, man, these movie producers and everybody, people don't really like either junkies as the main character or ex-junkies, especially the rich and famous ones. She even kind of admits to it. She says she blames music for almost killing her with drugs and stuff. But then a few seconds later, she's like, well, the music didn't force me to take those drugs. And somebody else said it could have just been a normal person like the very first one, where she was a nurse and she's living a normal life, and we could all relate. And you're pulling for her to survive and to make it through. With this one, you don't really care that much. And one thing it doesn't have is the intensity, the weight of the first one. The slow camera movements, the creepiness. It doesn't have it. It tries to. Oh, God. God, did they scream in this movie. They scream their head off. Like, every character, almost throughout the whole movie, all you hear is people screaming loud into the camera. And it gets annoying after a while. She has this weird shriek when she screams, and it's very annoying. And some part it's even funny. And why do they smile with their face down in this movie? Whereas in the first one, they would just smile and look straight ahead. They weren't trying to look scary. They weren't trying to look creepy. They just did because they looked like a normal smile. But in this one, they look down. They try to scare you with their look, and it's not working. It looks kind of dumb, really. A lot of gore. I think a little more gore than before. I'll give it that much. More bloodier. And that's probably why people like it so much. Just for that reason. But if you want to get really scared, watch the first one, not this one. And this is probably one of the most unintentional horror movies I've ever seen in my life. It almost looks intentional. Like I'm going to have people cracking up because they're expecting a scare, and I'm not going to give them that. I'm going to give them pure comedy. And I found myself cracking up. Just belly laughs, man, because it's so stupid. In the first Smile, there was a lot of parts where the main character was hallucinating a whole lot. But right here, they took it up a notch. Almost everything that happens is an illusion. It's a hallucination. But it happens so many times that it loses its effect. It gets annoying after a while because you do it so many times. While watching this movie, I kept thinking of one other movie, Trap. This is Trap Part 2. The music that you hear is actually on iTunes right now. They were selling the movie and the music at the same time, just like Trap. And just like Trap, there's parts that are not meant to be funny, but they crack you up. So yeah, I don't like the fact that a musical, and this is pretty much a musical, it's a lot of music in this. Yet they praise this sack of. So, from 1 to 10, I'm going to give this movie here a solid 2. The worst score I can give any movie that I have before is a -2. I give that to Trap. But I'm not going to give this a -2 because there are some parts that are okay, especially the gory parts, but everything else is just terrible. It's unrewatchable. I can't watch it again, and I wouldn't recommend it. And I've said it before, I hate horror movies that are 2 hours long or more. This one should have been an hour and a half. Go ahead and let me know what you think, and I will catch you on the next one.